Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. Today is Wednesday, December 3rd, and let's see, the market doesn't look bad. It's pretty much green, just a little light right there. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? And there is your heat map right there. NVIDIA is up a little bit, not as high as it was yesterday, up like $1 right there. And the SPY's up a little bit. It doesn't look perfect. I'm not so sure it really gets ripping today, but we are up. The one big thing that is up right now, look where Bitcoin is. It was just at 93 right there. So let's just look at that real fast and we'll go through crypto and see what it's up to. There you go. Look at it. It closed way above the 20, like I said, and all it needs is a little more of a green bump today. It just turned a little red this morning, but we have a long day ahead of us, so that can change. And Ethereum right there looking really good, and Solana also looking really good. So like I said, let's see if they get themselves back into a bullish channel. That's what I was talking about last night, telling you that I think that they're about to start the transformation right here. Here's Cardano right there, not looking too bad. And I think that they're about to get moving. We'll see. We'll know in the next 2 days or so. As they get set up, we'll be able to tell if they're going to get into that bullish channel, and then they'll get rocketing back up where they should be. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. There you go. A chain link and optimism. I'm optimistic about it, and there's optimism moving up right there, looking pretty good. So there you go with your crypto looks. Let's go ahead and look at our Joe Lee's jumpers this morning from Asian Joe Lee. So let's see what Beyond is doing. That one was trying to run around yesterday. I know that. Let's see what it's doing this morning right here. It was running yesterday, just a little healthy pullback right there. Nothing too crazy. And CMCD right here. Let's see what CMCD is up to. What is that? CMCD. Oh, hold on. CMCD. I don't know what that is actually. What? There's something similar. Clearmind, CMCD or something. Clearmind. This one. This is the one that she's talking about, I bet. And here you go, Clearmind. It was running up. Actually, this thing is setting up. It still looks pretty good right there. So you might want to keep an eye on that one. And CMCT right here is Creative Media. That actually looks pretty good right there. Keep an eye on that. That's curling up pretty nice. And CNCK, all these C's. Confusing the heck out of me. But that coin check group was running yesterday and just kind of hanging out there this morning. Hoth right here. Let's get out of them C's and get to an H. Hoth is hitting the 20. It looks like it might be coming back right there. And IXHL. Whoop. It already came up for me. And that's actually looking really good right there. Keep an eye on this IXHL. That could get running. KXIN just did the old reverse split. Watch for this one right here. It is looking pretty good. KXIN right there. KXIN Holdings or something. I think it's a Chinese isn't it a auto manufacturer or something like that? Auto and truck dealership in China. That's what it is. And yeah, that recently reverse split. That's looking pretty good right there, guys. Might want to keep an eye on that one. And that is your KXIN and NXXT, that next whatever it was, that was running a little bit yesterday, just hitting the 20 yesterday. A little bit of pullback this morning, nothing crazy. PLRZ was also jumping up, Polyrizing yesterday, had recently reverse split, and there you go. It jumped up big yesterday, as a matter of fact, and just kind of hanging out over the 50 this morning. PMAX, we were talking about that last night, and it did run up. PalMax, it was looking really good right there. And SGBX right, or wait, hold on, SGBX is what I meant to write, and that one is where is it? Holy cow, 317. There it is. It's right under the 20 right there. You should get a roll off the MACD right now and start cruising back up for that safe and green holdings right now. So that's what that looks like. And TUSK is running. Mammoth Energy Tusk. That's pretty cool. Definitely a cool stock ticker with a cool name, Mammoth Energy, and then it's Tusk. I like that. TUSK. That's pretty cool. That's thoughtful right there. So there you go. MIST. Let's see what that's doing. It was looking pretty decent last night. We were trying to get an idea of what this thing was trying to do. I said I'd take a look at it this morning. It's in the top. I'd be really careful on that one. That missed, and yeah, it ran into the mist already. Let's put it that way. So it'd be careful on that. I remember we looked at it not long ago because I remember saying that, and it's obviously run up since that point. Let's put it that way. But I'd be careful there. So there you go, Jolie's jumpers and a few others. So thank you very much, Asian Jolie. Look at us, HYFM this morning. It's just sitting there, not doing anything yet, but that thing looks really good to me. You might want to keep an eye on this HYFM right there. That looks really good, I must say. What other one that was it? We were looking at Raya right here. That wasn't looking bad. That's just sitting there too. And then that Devs was getting set up, and that's just hanging out. So there you go. A couple other ones. And thanks, Luis Rodriguez. He loves the Christmas background. As a matter of fact, Sam said that. Sam said on the thumbnail that it reminded him of Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Christmas poo. That was cracking me up yesterday. As a matter of fact, Sam. So good picture and good analogy. That was pretty funny. He sent me a message. I was dying. So yeah, that was pretty good. Again, send me a message anytime, guys. I talk to everybody a lot. So if you ever have a question or anything, just feel free to shoot me a DM. You're not bothering me. I answer. I respond to everybody within like 12 hours, I would say. But usually a lot sooner than that. So there you go. And yeah, Bitcoin's sitting at that 93 right now. It was sitting there. It's right there. I mean, it's parked right under 93, and it was at 93 when I just come on. It says 93.30 right there on this stock cube. It depends on what you look at. Let's put it that way. Extremely slow this morning, Laptop Travel said. It seems like it's a little bit slow. Almost looks like it's a Fed day or something, and it's not even close. Next week is the Fed decision, so we have until what, next Wednesday, and then that's when we find out that we're getting a 2.25 decrease right there. 89%. That is not going down. I can tell you, it's not jumping off a cliff. Let's put it that way. Wait, this is 94%. Holy cow! I would say it looks like it's high. 94% right there. Look at that thing. 94% for the 0.25 decrease next week. So, and it still isn't going to jump off a cliff. That thing is not jumping off a cliff up there, I don't think. And there you go. So that is what it's looking like. And so that looks like we're getting that rate cut in a week from today. So we'll have to see what's going on. Today does seem like a little odd day. Look at the SPY. It looks a little weird. It's up, but it doesn't look perfect right there. I can tell you that right now. It looks like it almost wants to pull back some. So we'll have to see how it opens up. And your Qs right here are a little different. They also look like they've run up. Hopefully they get moving up a little higher. I think Sam said he had a bunch of options or a few call options. So hopefully it just gets bumping up as the market opens up right there. So you see your Qs and your IWM right here is actually up. It took a nice little dip yesterday, and we'll see what that's up to. It looks like it wants to roll back up. That's a crazy chart too. So some different crazy looks right there on your indices, and we'll be keeping an eye on them. That's for sure. And obviously your Bitcoin is at about 93,000 right now. So that's a great look. And I called that one yesterday. That's for sure. And let's go ahead and look at our SPY Mag 7 big caps and everybody. Like I said, our SPY is up, but doesn't look perfect. Apple's up just a hair, 10 cents, nothing much. And Amazon's up a little bit this morning, not looking bad there. Google had been pulling back there. And like I said, I think Google's about to get rolling off the MACD, guys, and curling back up and probably go to its all-time highs again. And supposedly Trump has some major announcement today at 2:30, so that's interesting right there. And we'll have to see what that major announcement's going to be. And like I said, I know Kushner and somebody else went over to Russia yesterday, and they were talking to Putin. So apparently, them talks were going okay. And I know it's not going to happen overnight, but apparently they're starting to talk about the peace over there. So that's when we have to keep an eye on this Kyiv right here, and you can see it just getting set up. So I would say they're probably going to work something out, which is going to be absolutely amazing. I mean, holy cow, if they do that, like I said, they got the October 7th prisoners released also. So I mean, that's pretty wild if they just go around the whole world and stop all these wars and do that. No administration's been able to do anything like that in the history of our country. That's for sure. If anything, they just go to war and start more. Although we are kind of starting a war with some kind of, what country is that? Venezuela or something? I don't even know. But anyway, let's look at Meta right here. It's not looking too bad. It's just kind of hanging out flat this morning. Like you said, Laptop Travel, everything looks a little bit flat to me. That's for sure. And Microsoft is just a little bit down, but more or less flat also right there. and they all look like they don't know if they want to take a little bit of a dip down, but not really a hard one, just a little healthy pullback, or if they want to keep running up. Nvidia still looks pretty good right there, curling up. Will it get through the MACD? That's the question. But look at that. It looks like it should get up to that 20 again and try to hit that. So there you go with Nvidia, NVDA. And let's take a look and see what our Tesla's up to this morning. It's up 42 cents. It's in that channel. It'll probably just hang out in this channel here like it did yesterday and bounce around. So there you go for Tesla. And how are you, Sam? Heidi ho, happy Wednesday there, Sam. And M, quite a turnaround after 3 years. Macy's right here. Holy cow, you're right. That is a hell of a turnaround. Wow, Macy's doing pretty well. That's pretty impressive, I must say. You're absolutely right, because like almost every store in the mall has not been able to do that well. Look at that. That's a pretty good chart right there. Looking pretty healthy and a bullish trend for Macy's, obviously up in the top. They have earnings coming up. I wouldn't be betting the earnings right there, not on that look, but definitely they did turn the company around. I remember it was like way down there. I remember during COVID, I was trading this thing back here, and you can see yeah, had taken these big dips. Remember that? And that was during COVID. Obviously, the malls were not getting much shopping done right there. And yeah, I remember playing it. It was way down here, yeah, and the sixes and stuff. It was really cheap. I do remember that. Now it's at 22. Should have just bought it at COVID and held it, and or sold it in 22. But anyway, there you go for Macy's, and yeah, not looking bad for sure. And they did turn around, because like I said, during COVID it was way down there. I mean, a third of the price for the stock. Anyway, there you go with them guys. And that is your Mag 7. Let's see AMC right here. You're just kind of hanging out. GameStop up a little bit more today. Look at this thing. I mean, GameStop's just been an animal and looks like it almost wants to crawl up a little bit more, but I'm not so sure it can get through that 50, especially today. And that is what GameStop looks like. Chewy. Well, also, GameStop has earnings coming up next week. What day is it? I forget what day. It was the 9th or something, whatever day that is. That's next Tuesday. So GameStop does have earnings coming up right there. That's Chewy right here. That's up this morning. It took a nice dip yesterday. Unity's been looking pretty good and running up some right there. So keep an eye on that. Netflix is one that's pulling back. So get that on the dip again. And it did run up. It was a nice one from like 104 to 110 area. So there you go with your Netflix and AVGO. Let's see what our semiconductors are doing. AVGO trying to crawl up this morning. It's not, doesn't look like it's going to get a big crawl this morning, but it's trying to make its way up there. MU dipping down a little bit. That's coming off of the MACD downward. So there you go with MU, and TSM's been looking pretty good. That's getting set up, looking nice right there. SMCI, that's been getting set up as well, and that's looking pretty good. You can see the 20 coming down for SMCI. That'll get set up there. And AMD, there we go. It ran up yesterday and then took a nice dip. I don't know what happened, but this thing looks really good right here too. I think AMD's trying to get set up. And let's see, where else are we over here with QCOM? That one was looking really good last night, and it just pulled back a little bit this morning. I looked at it. Snow, another one that's been looking pretty good going up. So there you go. You keep an eye on Snow. They have earnings, isn't it today for their earnings? As a matter of fact, Snow does have earnings today, so we'll be keeping an eye on that, watching it towards the end of the day, that's for sure. And what does it look like on here? Yeah, Snow looks like they're gonna crush their earnings. I might have to get some options on Snow today. Look at this thing. I mean, that's going into its earnings. That's the look you want to see. We'll see how it plays out today, but it does look good. They could crush that. It's been so bullish and good. I could see this company destroying their earnings, like top, bottom, and everything else. So we will keep an eye on that Snow right there. That could be a gapper tomorrow. And PayPal right here is up a hair, and it had been running up a little bit. It's in the 20s, so just see if it wants to pull back some. And Intel right there had been jumping up big yesterday. It's kind of just flat at the top there, and we'll see if that one wants to stay up. Intel, we got to see how this market opens up, to be honest with you, because it's a little bit flat and weird, but Bitcoin's at like 93K, so it should try to bring the market up with it, as a matter of fact. And Dell right here trying to bounce back up. It had been at the bottom. IBM not looking too bad. You know what? IBM not looking too great now. Look at it. It was crawling up there. Now they're I don't think they're going to really roll down very hard. You do have that support line right here. So around 300. It's just got a little tiny pullback on that MACD right there. Like I said, I don't think you're going to get a full huge pullback to the 50. We'll see. It does have that pullback. I almost think you get that quick one, but we'll have to pay attention to IBM today and see what it wants to do. And Palantir right here going up some, not looking bad. It's in that channel, and Sophie's been going up. Oh, what the heck am I doing? There's Sophie right there, and that has been going up. And like I said, Sophie's been looking pretty good. And Mara and Riot, these guys are looking great. Look at these things getting set up. Mara's about to hit the 20. Riot's already on top of it and looks good. And then Clean Spark right here isn't looking bad either this morning. It had run up big on its earnings. Look at that curling up. That looks pretty good there for Clean Spark. So keep an eye on CLSK. And let's see what MicroStrategy's doing. It was looking pretty good yesterday going into today. And it is up like $4. Not perfect right there, but it isn't looking bad as it's getting moving. And again, it was way at the bottom. And I do think your crypto is about to get rolling again, just based off of MicroStrategy, what crypto looks like and everything else. If you add them all up, they look like they're going to get cruising. Robinhood right here up a little bit. Coinbase up a hair this morning. And let's see what our Weebles do. And like I said, this thing did look pretty decent sitting on the 20. It just wants to wait for that ride up there. And it is curling back up. So there you go. Snowflake is set to be Q3 estimates based on insider leaks, Luis Rodriguez just said. I'll base it off that chart, Luis Rodriguez. They're going to smoke it, and I'm going to definitely be looking at them options today. They'll probably be expensive, but worth it. So there you go. And let's see what Space is doing right here. It had been looking good. Boeing ran up pretty well yesterday. It's over that 50 right there, looking pretty good still. And your DJT had been setting up right here. And let's see, that one's out of the basement getting set up, not looking bad. And you can tell the market wants to get pulled up. When DJT's setting up like that, it's a pretty good sign. Nike right here just jumping around, hadn't been looking bad. And Lulu is up a little bit this morning. Did notice that one. And let's see what your Disney's doing. And it is just kind of hanging out there, Luis Rodriguez. We'll have to see. It might get rolling right there. McDonald's trying to bounce back. That could be a good little spot for it to bounce off of. And Oxy and ExxonMobil up a little bit. They pulled back yesterday. Probably a good dip opportunity right there. And you can see they look good this morning. And DXYZ's up a little bit more, moving its way up. And there you go. That's the market and what we're looking at. But yeah, more importantly, crypto is looking pretty good, and your Bitcoin is hovering around 93K. Look at Ethereum over 3,000, Solana back over 140 right there. So they are looking pretty good. We already checked them out. Let's see what the news stories say. India rupee falls to record low below 90, risks steeper slide without central bank help. So it doesn't sound like it's doing very well over in India. And AI air pocket struggling consumer could prove a double whammy for stocks next year, says Bank of America. And stocks tick higher ahead of U.S. private payroll, so that must be coming up. Apple's leadership shift marks a major reset in AI strategy, and stock futures climb as Bitcoin bounce continues. So there you go with that. And let's see, what is today? We haven't been looking at these things, but employment changes. I guess they already had like the 30-year mortgage and all this stuff. Is all this stuff coming out now because the government's been opened back up? I'm assuming that all these things have been coming out. And so you have some employment changes and some manufacturing production and some other stuff, some oil. And let's see what else. Imports, exports tomorrow. Initial jobless claims tomorrow. So there you go. That's all tomorrow too. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And it is a little bit slow today, I must say. So the market's not doing a whole lot right there. And there you go. Laptop travel. I say the same thing. Kodak and Bull, we're all over them too in the Discord, you know that, and bam, there you go with your Kodak. It's up this morning, and your Bull is looking really good. So I agree with you right there. Laptop travel. Let's see what else is going on here this morning. BMNR. That should be looking pretty good, I must think. And let's see. That's not I was like, what is that? That is not BMNR's chart. This is BitMine. That looks better. And there you go, getting right back up to that 20. So you'll have to see. It still might not cross through, but it is looking pretty good on that bounce back up there. And we'll have to see what's happening. ETHU looking really good this morning as well, trying to work its way up. MSTU right there, not looking bad. That just split, huh? Wow. That splits today. That's where I see these ETFs, they do split. That's where you got to be careful. I've mentioned this before with ETFs, and they do split. I mean, you can still end up in the right side of them, but they do definitely split. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, that's like a 1-for-10 split. And I have no idea why they do that, but they do. And they do it ever so often. I have no idea the time frame because I've watched J Nug and seen this one and all these guys split, and that's what your gold looks like this morning. And Nugs up a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And silver right there up a hair, and SLV that had been way up yesterday, and it's at hitting the top area. So be careful with the silver; it's run up pretty good. And let's see what else was on that list right here. That FISV has been looking good right there. You're right about that, and that wants to get moving. CRDO, Credo. And that's not looking too bad. PMAX was running up this morning. There you go with that. Nice one right there. And let me just see, what was that doing? I know it was looking good last night. Yeah, that thing kept on running. And GITS, let me see. See where we're at with GITS right here, Global Interactive Technologies. And that thing kind of just, what did that even do? I got to look at that thing, GITS. It looks like it was crazy. Let's see. Yeah, it was running all over the place. 177 it got up to. That's where it looks like it opened that. And then it just came right down to the 120. So I say watch for a little bounce action on that one right there after that dip down, because that is a quite the dip. And let's see that KXIN reverse split action already running up, looking pretty good. So keep an eye on that one right there. Bitcoin at 93, pretty slow morning right there. Hope everyone cheats out my in-depth checks out your in-depth article on what the Fed's new policy means for the markets and crypto. So there you go, Laptop Travel, and check out Laptop Travel's newsletter. Supposedly Trump has a major announcement today at 2:30. We'll have to find out what's going on there, Sam, today. And Macy's was looking good. Trump is like the boy who cried wolf. At some point, people start tuning out. Yeah, he definitely has a lot to say. I looked for them tweets. I only saw like one of them yesterday. I was looking last night, but I only saw one of them. I don't know if some of them got deleted or something. I have no idea. But anyway, Snowflake looking really good today. Kodak and Bull and Lewis Snow is definitely looking good. Like I said, I'll be watching them options this morning and today going in. We'll look at them right now if you want, actually. Here's the option chain, and let's see what they're at. It's at 263, so we're going to come down to 265 area right there, and let's see how far we want to go out. Obviously, if they've earnings today, you could go to the 12th, and that would be next Friday. That would probably be sufficient right there, to be completely honest with you. You're just playing this earnings pop, 265, and like I said, they're going to be expensive. They're already up some right there. You can see that. Some of these are up over 100% already, and they're going to get cruising. So there you go with Snowflake, and that will be looking pretty good, I think. Going into its earnings, that setup does look nice, I must say. So that's what I base it off of. Luis Rodriguez is saying they're supposed to beat their earnings. I mean, that thing looks like it's going to be up here today at like 289. So you can keep an eye on Snow right there going into its earnings. I don't know what time they are. They might be after the market closes. So we'll be watching that one, that's for sure. And let's see, what did good old Plug do? That's up a little bit more this morning, looking pretty decent. And Hertz right here, not bad as well. And QS not looking bad. Look at that, QuantumScape and Rocket Lab. This thing's been looking pretty good. This thing looks like it wants to take a rocket. And that's Sterling. We're keeping an eye on that to see if it wants to do a bounce today. ASTS was up yesterday. It's up a little bit more today. LITM was looking pretty good. And QCOM, we looked at MicroStrategy and PMAX. And Nuclear right here is up some and not looking too bad. It is hitting that 20 right there. So you got to be careful with that. See if it can get up onto that. It might not just yet. And QuantumScape was looking pretty decent. There you go with that. And CRML, this critical metals, these guys are starting to look pretty good there. And your 4Us over here was up and not looking bad for energy fuels. And MP is at MP Materials Corp, and that's up some. So there you go with them. And K Wave Media is down a hair there. So there you go with that. And at HFYM, like I said, is just flat and still not doing anything anymore. So that is what's going on this morning, everybody. So there you go with the market. Crypto is up, looking pretty good. The market doesn't look too bad. Let's just see what the SPY and the Qs look like real quick one more time. SPY looks a little bit better this morning, I must say. And let's see what the Qs look like. They were looking a little weaker earlier. And the Qs are up a little bit right now. They must be running up at the moment. So yeah, they are. They were down here earlier, and now they're starting to run on up. Oh, that was yesterday. What am I talking about? They were down. They were up here. They were down here earlier. That's what I was looking at. 622. Now you're at 623, and it's trying to move. That was definitely last night. So anyway, that's what your Qs look like, and it doesn't look too bad. Like I said, looks a little bit stronger. NVIDIA looking pretty strong right there, up a little bit at 141. Looks like it wants to get skyrocketing. So keep an eye on that. And over a month ago, Snow's chief revenue officer inadvertently revealed its upcoming financial results during an interview with an influencer known as the School of Hard Knocks. That's interesting. So there you go. Like I said, based on that chart, it looks really good to me. And that's what the market looks like. And he said that Snowflake's would report 4.5 billion in revenue for the year and was on track to hit 10 billion over the next couple of years. So that's pretty impressive right there. Software company, I don't even know what kind of software they have. I have no idea. But anyway, it does look good. And we're talking about snow right here. And snow in the forecast would look pretty good. I know some people did get some snow yesterday, as a matter of fact. And but yeah, look at that thing. It is getting ready to rock and roll right there off of its earnings report. You can see it already. They're going to beat that thing for sure. So there you go. It's snow and everything else that we looked at this morning. So thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Be sure to follow along on Instagram and YouTube. And yeah, you can see the SPY has an interesting look, but look at that 20 curling up. So even if you get a little pullback, that thing's going to rock and roll. That's what I was talking about with the SPY. The snow's doing it too, but the SPY yesterday, and that thing is rolling up there looking really good. So the market looks pretty strong, and we will be keeping an eye to see what's happening, and we'll just see. Right there's our heat map, and again, looks pretty green this morning going in to our open. So we'll keep an eye on it and see exactly what's going to happen here, and keep you guys posted. I'll be in the Discord with Ben around 9:15, and we'll go through the market and see what's happening and give you what's going to be popping and what looks good at that moment. So there you go, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And this is ahead of the company's projections of 4.395 billion for the year, hinting at a potential beat on its own projections during the quarter. Yeah, that's crazy. And that will make the stock. I've learned just doing the the ER shows with Ben now, when they beat these things top and bottom really high and the projections are like astronomical or whatever it is, these things like gap up huge. So I think Snow might have that look. As a matter of fact, I go into it with just that look and that look alone on the chart. So there you go. Be sure to trade smart. Lock in those profits today, everybody. Trade smart. Lock in those profits, Sam. Goodbye. Good luck. See you later. And have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Sam. That was perfect timing. Look at you on point right there. That was awesome, Sam. So, yeah. And thanks for the Mr. Hanky picture yesterday. It was pretty funny. So, you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the Discord.